That's an interesting question. Because I think there's so many different angles you can approach it from. I mean, in essence, what the app is it's this cool way that you can sort of share, your affection for someone by digitally over Twitter publicly, and actually give them something of material value, which is the interesting about social, because there's very little material value in social. We all love it because we get exposed to each other, but being able to like say to Frank, I mean, it wouldn't be Frank. No. I mean, it would be a different person, like somebody like this who was sitting in a chair. If I like them, I'm at South by Southwest, for instance, and I like their presentation, being able to just tweet them a beer without having anything that I have to set up in advance on their part. They just get it, and then they can go and download that beer, or download the credit for that beer very easily. I think it's just a really cool thing that existed and is another showcase of one thing that 10-4 has always done well, which is sort of mashing up different experiences between Twitter and PayPal. So I think that's the coolest thing about the app.
We thought it was a great idea. We've done some really cool apps in the past, whether it was Air New Zealand or working with other partners like Draft. But the challenge is always getting the word out. That's really why Tweet a Beer with Wagner Edstrom has been a great partnership in that sense, because we can work together to make great things happen by building them, getting the creative together, knocking out something very innovative and newsworthy, but then being able to have that network.
And that was sort of the weird situation we found ourselves in going into this year's South by. We had some success with our app last year. We had some great download numbers. We got some great press coverage, but we also wanted to make sure that we were outdoing ourselves in 2012. And what we found was that maybe outdoing ourselves meant we couldn't outdo ourselves by ourselves. And so we wanted to make sure that we found a partner that could get us to that next level of engagement. It made a lot of sense to us to work with 10-4 because we'd had many positive exchanges and working collaborative sessions with 10-4 in the past. When it came time to look at South by Southwest 2012 in the new offering, we couldn't think of a better partner than 10-4.
We enable consumers and businesses to transact directly on Twitter. So it's in-stream, frictionless transactions and payments based on natural language tweets. We do it in 3 different areas, so direct payments, it's real-world mobile person-to-person payments. So if you think of Square, without the need for a Square or a credit card, you just tweet at someone, pay so-and-so an amount for a reason, and we make a transaction happen on the back end. We also do that for donations. So if you think of Barack Obama tweeting out to his 2 billion followers, donate $25 to my campaign. If you reply with the word donate, we make a transaction happen on the back end. And finally, we do that for Twitter commerce. So large brands that are going to be using us to sell items on Twitter. People can reply with the word buy, and we make a transaction happen. And we also launched our API, which we're happy to have 10-4 on board, first users and consumers of the API, facilitating payments for beer.